Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped. Something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
I listened back to last week's call, not today, but a few days ago. And that was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one thing I'll share around that is that memory of eating too many grapes.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those memories that I don't think about for years at a time, but kind of consistently over the course of my life, it has popped up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so interesting to really dive into that in the depths that we did, and to do healing around that. Yeah, just so fascinating. That is one of those background memories that I don't think I had really made sense of. Why does this kind of keep returning?
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt important and needed. Yeah, maybe this is a lot of other people's experience too, but I think I've just gotten so used to the parts that dismiss or normalize stuff like that from childhood, to the point where I think I spent a lot of my life believing that was kind of some form of everybody's experience. Everybody was punished like that for getting sick or doing the wrong thing. And just realizing, the extent to which parts really worked hard to normalize that as much as possible. And I get why, that's easier.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I brought it up in our last call, but in other calls we've had parts talking about how important it is for you to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I have so much love for those parts, because One, I can see how that was directly inherited through my mom. Like that's very much her way of being and the way that she's gotten through a really difficult life. So I can appreciate it in that sort of like lineage connection of this passed down protection, but also just how scary it would have been at the points in my life where I didn't have a lot of support and tools to realize that I wasn't fine. You know, how terrifying and like unequipped I probably would have felt. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Parts would have felt.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, thanks for hearing that.
Yeah. So how would you like to start today? Should we have a minute of meditation, or do you want to continue with this, or?
So I have an idea, but I think a minute of meditation to just check in would be great.
Okay. I'll set a timer.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Parts you'd like to get to know better?
Yeah. Honestly, it's hard to feel anything else but this like jittery excitement.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little, I think a part feels like it's distracting.
Okay.
But that feels very present.
Okay. All right. Welcome the jittery excitement and the one that thinks it's distracting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the one that thinks it's distracting just wants to say, like, I can't focus. We can't focus. It's too excited.
Okay. Yeah, it might be right.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically, would this part mind if we got to know the excited one?
I think it would like that ultimately. Yeah, I think it's good with that. Yeah, that feels a little calmer. I can still very much feel the excitement, but yeah.
Okay, how do you feel towards it?
Good was the first word that came to mind. I think it's feeling that I'm feeling.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good identifying.
Yeah.
Okay, so jittery excitement feels good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel love. I feel love towards it for sure.
Okay. Can you invite it to notice you?
Yeah.
And maybe ask it to kind of step in front of you. Just give a little space.
Okay. It was concerned if it gave space that I wouldn't pay attention to it. And I understand that concern actually, because I think there was a part, maybe the part saying it was distracting, that wanted to get to something else. And yeah, it makes sense why this excitement feels that way. Like if I quiet down, are you just going to disregard me?
Yeah. Yeah, we've met other parts that aren't so welcoming of it. So
yeah. Yeah, I don't want to disregard it. I'd like to be with it.
Mm-hmm. Does it have any message for you? Anything it wants you to know about itself?
Right now, it's just, I'm seeing it as like this ball of energy, but it's like a moving, morphing, not exactly any one shape, like definitely very vibrant and buzzing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How's it like being noticed by you in this way?
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just was like screaming out in an excited way, like connection.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what it's excited about?
I guess so.
Okay. Great. Great. That's welcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's just really stoked for that.
Okay. Well, I think that's great that it shows up and celebrates.
Yeah. And it makes sense for a couple of big reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Again, kind of weirdly, the 2 times I've talked to my best friend in the last week have been right before these calls. That happened
Mm-hmm.
last Saturday, right before recording, and then today, right before
Mm-hmm.
recording. And yeah, that sense of connection that I feel with her. And then obviously, you know, and I hope this doesn't put any type of pressure on you. There's a part that's a little concerned about that.
Concerned about putting pressure on me?
Yeah, with what I was about to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can check for any of my parts that might. I don't detect that in me that I'll
Yeah.
be pressured by anything you share or that your parts share.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. This excited part is really stoked on like all of the connection that it sees thanks to you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that feels like the opposite of pressure on me.
Good.
Feels like a big sigh of relief of how happy I am to be a part of that.
Yeah, job well done.
Thanks.
Yeah. Wow, the like physical sensations have calmed down a lot in my body. I think she feels really relieved that I get that and I'm seeing that, and she can sing out her excitement.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
And thank you again. For showing up, for speaking for this part.
Thanks for making the space for it.
Uh-huh.
It also makes a lot of sense to me why she's showing up now. The excitement, understanding that like the rough idea of what I wanted to go to today. And I wasn't really thinking about it too much, but it was kind of just in the background since I re-listened to that last published call. It, you know, I did have some sort of inclination or like reminder set in my mind of like, oh, we want to go back to that exile. And I understand the excitement comes in when she feels like we just maybe we just need a break to celebrate like good things and, you know,
Yeah.
are we going
Absolutely.
from like one big exile to the next big exile? Like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I really want to honor that because, yeah, you know, I have so little agenda in these calls, and yes, it's like if your parts aren't asking for a celebration, then
Mm.
yeah, we can fall into a pattern of just let's always go to deep dark places, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I like having some diversity there.
Yeah, I think my system does too,
Cool.
for sure. And I appreciate that, even just as a check-in, which is, it feels like that. It doesn't feel like a block, but it does feel like a checkpoint
Mm-hmm.
that I can see a lot of benefit in.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but another part just came in that was saying, yeah, like, I don't even know if there's any more work to be done with that exile. I think you're good. Like, but in sort of a like, don't ask more questions sort of a way.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. I'm just
Okay.
reading
Well,
it.
yep. Go wherever we like.
Excitement just came back in to let me know that she wants to do really big things.
Would she like for you to speak more for her? Because I'm curious.
Kind of sounds like it. Yeah. Yeah. She just is saying, like, you're experiencing so much and it's so exciting and she's so excited for it. But she's also like, in a really positive way, like, you haven't seen nothing yet. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So it's good and getting better, huh?
She really has high hopes for that and sees so much potential in me, in you, in resources and connections made, and
Mm-hmm.
the learning we've been doing. Like, just, she's like so much potential.
Yeah, I do too. And sometimes I forget. Sometimes my not excited parts take over and they say, oh, this is so silly. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. So I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that reminder.
Yeah. 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 She relates to what you just said. She's like, yeah, there's those parts for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she does. She's just saying, like, I don't see it that way. The way that they see it, I don't see it that way. Here's what I see. And she shows me just like light is just beaming out of her eyes. Like, it is, she's just seeing
Yes.
like this huge world.
Yes. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really bright and amazing. And she's like a projection screen almost. Like, it's just coming out of her and she can see everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Yeah, it made me a little teary in a good way.
All right. She didn't have to answer this, but does she have any concerns? Or is that something she wants to share?
I think she recognizes like what dims her light,
Mm-hmm.
what makes the lights go out, is what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she has like a real fear of those parts.
Okay. Okay.
I think they've been very powerful with her. Yeah. Yeah. Just letting her know it's okay for her to like let me feel that, and I'm feeling her like yeah, really like kind of cower and shudder at the thought of them.
Yeah. Those are the ones that make the life go out.
Yeah. Yeah, because she knows her own power. And I think she actually has a lot of confidence in that. But there is this like more powerful part that just, she has like, yeah, no choice but to like turn the lights out.
Okay. Sounds important.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is really nice for her to be heard like this. Like this level of understanding. I think, you know, what I'm seeing is like that I haven't really gotten past the excited layer of her
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to really understand like her concerns. And that's really nice for her.
You could ask her to show you more, or you could ask her what she needs from you, what she would like from you.
But making the lights go out is what she said.
Okay. Yeah. Just acknowledge that you have those parts.
Yeah.
She's not crazy.
Totally.
And that
Not at all. Yeah.
that there are other parts.
Yeah. And I recognize their power. She's not exaggerating. It's not because of any fault of her own. It's not because like she's not a strong part too. It's just the sheer fucking strength of this other one. That's just like she has no choice. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not crazy. She's not exaggerating. She's spot on. It makes sense.
Okay. So other than working with those parts, does she have any other requests?
She just said like, be with me. Be with me. But it does feel like a pick me kind of like
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Pick me. Yeah. Yeah, she'd like to win
how
out
would she
more.
like you to do that? Okay.
Yeah, she'd like to
Is that
win out
something-
more in this sort of tug of war, you know,
Yeah.
before the lights go out.
And is that something that she wants to kind of envision with you now about what that would look like? And
It's
again,
hard for her
kind
to
of
envision
assuming
that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I think because she's experienced the strength of this other part so much, she's not sure how that happens, but
Mm-hmm. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Does she trust that you're the right person for the job to meet those other parts, or does she have any other concerns about that? Or
She said if anybody's going to do it, it's you. She's like, I'm not going to do it. Try that.
Yeah, you can thank her for trying.
Yeah.
And yeah, wouldn't it be nice if she didn't have to use her energy that way?
Yeah, she would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she would love that. She said that she could really share the vision so much easier
Mm-hmm.
if that were the case. And I'm just, thanking her for wanting that from me, for us. Yeah, that feels good.
Anything else? Anything else you'd like to ask of her, or intentions to set?
Just keep doing what you're doing, girl. Like, you're amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to look out for you.
Yeah. Thanks again from me for showing up and showing us more about you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's so cute. She's like, you're welcome. Yeah. Yeah, she feels pretty happy to kind of like run off and
Okay.
check in again later.
Okay. Well, it's your call if you'd like to turn to those lights go out parts or whatever you want to do.
I think I really would.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel a good level of curiosity around that.
Okay. Yeah, see if you can broadcast that to them and see what you notice
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah, they love to be recognized or heard from. So that feels pretty easy to tap into.
Sensations in the body.
Like a pressure in my chest. I was going to say a friction in the chest. And there is that, but it's also like a pressure on the center of my chest and kind of on my shoulders. Yeah, like a general heavy feeling in my body. And like how the excited part is like staring at the sky and the universe. This one's like deep in this like thick mud, like molasses, like just
Okay. Are you feeling curious?
heavy. Yeah, I've not seen it exactly like that before, so that is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let it know that we're both curious. And that it can share whatever it wants about itself.
I'm noticing it's a little bit stunned. I think because this part comes on really aggressively, and I don't think it's familiar with like this type of communication.
Yeah, like us going to it versus it kind of
Being curious and yeah.
Yeah.
It's used to just screaming things out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
How's
get the sense that it's just kind of looking at me like,
How's that been for it? The screaming things out?
it just said very matter of factly, like, that's what needs to happen.
Okay.
I'm just asking it again, like, yes, and how do you feel about it, though? It feels like a bit of like shame.
Okay. Will you let it know that all of its feelings are welcome?
Yeah.
And that we want to take them seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's very like in a fixed position and definitely sense a good amount of shame around like what he feels like he has to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand it's not a pleasant job.
Yeah.
I feel like we've met these parts before.
Maybe.
Or variations of them. Like this feels different, but I can see variations of them, like in the school children and the school teacher in our very first episode, and like even I think it was last week when we were talking about like hearing my dad's voice or other aggressive members of the family.
Yeah.
That type of
And that's
similar thing.
All good and welcome also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether this is the same part or a different shade of the same part or a slightly different one, it can show up however it wants.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does feel like a different shade, like very similar, but I haven't had these visuals connected with it before. And maybe, maybe if it is a same or similar part, there's more I need to hear from it.
Yeah, if it's still stuck in the mud and has to do a job it doesn't like, and that is every reason to keep getting to know it.
Yeah.
He was talking about this is what it has to do.
Yeah, to put the lights out of the excited part.
Okay. Is there more
In
it
the
wants to
ways,
show you about that or about why that?
he says things like, "You don't get to dream like that,"
Okay.
like very aggressively, which is it's okay. It's not like too much, but it is very like I'm kind of dialing it down. But it's like you don't get to fucking do that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I definitely feel like heat in my chest and yeah, like a puffing up, just
Yeah.
back off. But kind of not
Okay.
to me, but in that like to
Mhm.
the excited part. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't get to do that.
Okay. Yep. Just stay with them.
I'm definitely getting like little senses of like a younger scared part, and it feels scared of this lights out. And this
Mm-hmm.
one in the mud, like
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I think
Yeah.
she needs to be like tucked away a little bit in order for me to work with this one.
Okay.
Like out of the line of fire.
Uh-huh. Yep. And you can let her know that we can get to her later.
Yeah. Yeah, and the lights out part is saying like it's his job to keep her in her place.
Okay. Sounds like he's a protector.
Yeah, big time.
Mm-hmm. So you just let him know that we like protectors.
Yeah, we do.
We don't want to fight with them.
Yeah. And we're not trying to threaten his job.
Right. Sounds like he's using a lot of energy. And he doesn't really like being stuck in that way.
Yeah, it's like using energy he doesn't have.
Thank him for his intention.
Mm. I feel like I need to better understand his intention.
Great.
If that would be okay with him, like to understand what that means to keep her in her place.
Mm-hmm. Or what would be the consequences if he didn't?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Um, this is like kind of graphic.
Kind of graphic. Okay. Nothing has to be shared
Yeah.
with me. Nothing has to be published. But it's all welcome in my book.
Thank you. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. You okay with the graphic, or does that feel like too much?
It wasn't like I'm actually grateful for
Great.
like it showed me enough that I
Yeah.
got exactly what it was talking about, but it didn't
Great.
like do any more than that.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
So hard thing to be confronted with, but overall,
Yeah, and
like
it helps you understand why this part is so entrenched or
oh yeah,
takes its job so seriously.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's a very serious job, and
Yeah.
extreme. What's the thing he's saying? Extreme measures call for extreme responsibility calls for extreme
Sure.
measures. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you
Yeah.
feel like it's
So
easier to understand his role and appreciate it.
yes. And it's like the way that he views what would happen. I think there is a part of me that feels like that's extreme
Sure.
to still believe. But
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense for back in the time that he's showing
Yeah.
me, you know?
Yeah. You can thank that part. I think by definition, our protectors are acting in kind of extreme ways.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, it makes sense that, like, if he's saying, you let her out and this is what happens,
Right.
no one would ever want that little girl to get out.
Right. Right. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
His intentions are good. He's there for a good reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. There's just like a little bit of like a heartbreak feeling of like why he's there and mm,
Does it
not
feel okay?
overwhelming. Yeah, it totally
Okay.
feels okay. It's not overwhelming at all, but it is very like
Yeah. Yeah. There's some grief in that.
yeah.
And that could be connecting to.
Hmm. I'm noticing a part, and I don't know which one it is, but I'm definitely noticing a part coming in that's like, really irritated that we're still dealing with this.
Yeah.
And by this, it means like the fear of being sexually assaulted.
Yes. Yeah. That sucks. It sucks to have that fear. Of course, it would be irritated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, that part is so tired of that.
I bet. Just acknowledge it.
Yeah, and it's fear of like all roads lead here.
All roads lead here.
It's frustrated every time we hit on it because it's like bolstering that point of we just keep coming back to this.
Yeah. Just acknowledge it.
Yeah, it actually feels pretty good to say.
Yeah.
I get it. And I also get why there would need to be a lot of loving patience and a lot of like layers and
of course,
shades and nuances.
Parts.
Mm-hmm.
And roads that you think are leading some direction, but they lead back to this, or other avenues that you expect to make all this be better, and they don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something you've worked on with a lot of intention and proactively. It's also something you've worked on that your parts have worked on in the background, in your dreams, and your and so many things.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I can confidently say that like there's been a new and deeper understanding with each one of those ways over a long span of my life. And like it is pretty amazing that I keep understanding it more deeply or from a different angle.
Yeah. I don't know. Part of me wants to share a little bit of a hypothesis.
Great. Yeah.
You know, you can understand yourself and your parts more and more and more. And we also can't guarantee that a part that has a fear, or that some fears you have, are going to someday be eradicated and never come back.
Right. Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just want to be upfront about that with this part that's irritated, to say, you know, I'm always going to have the parts that had to deal with this. Even if we're all feeling great on the other side, there's still the grief of the time that it took, and the heartache that it took, and the pain.
Yeah, and the very real ways in which that shapes our lives,
Right.
and like, you know, either in the past or in the present, like, and most likely in the future. Like, this is something that informs you for the rest of your life in some way. So in a way, it will always be with me. And I think that really hits on like, yeah, this part's fear, even though it feels like all roads lead here, it's fear. Like, I don't want the road to keep ending here. I really wish it wouldn't. And this part really would like to hear that there is going to be an end time, right? Like, oh, I used to deal with that and I don't anymore. And that used to affect me and it doesn't anymore. Like, this part would just really love to get to that point.
Yeah. Yep. We can come to understand parts. We can help them relax. I'm sure we can turn it down if it's up too much.
I think I like it, you know.
Not going to be erasing anything, right?
No, and I think it feels right too to share with her, you know, really explicitly, like the ways in which living with that has evolved.
Hmm.
I mean, there's tremendous amounts of progress. And I mean, the way in which sorry if this is an overshare, but the ways in which I am able to engage sexually now is just like beyond anything I could have imagined before.
That's
like,
great.
It is incredible. And
Yeah.
so I love that for me. Like, I really do.
Me
Like
too.
everyone
Congratulations.
should like have orgasms like this and like feel pleasure like this. And like,
yes.
I'm sad for the large portion of my life that I couldn't access that, but I really want to like share and acknowledge just the tremendous strides that have occurred.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know, maybe it does need some updating, this part. I mean, update it with your age, update it with the work that you've done.
Yeah. This part and the lights out part.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, they don't have to be together, but they can both hear this from me. I'm sorry I got distracted because I'm like actually thinking they might be the same part.
Yeah. Yeah. The one that turns the light out itself is irritated that it's still dealing with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of grief underneath the shame that it initially showed me, and all roads lead here, meaning like stuck in the fucking mud. Or feeling that way.
Yeah. It's just noticing the laughter. The part, I'm guessing.
I think that is like pure amusement for this process. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, oh wow.
I think I get it, yeah.
This is so cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. How do these parts like having you there to sit with them some in that grief?
I mean, they really like the strength of this 35-year-old that's in front of them, and that they're
Awesome.
feeling like, yeah, they mean that in like a lot of different ways.
Right.
Like, yes, my physical strength or like overall health ability, things like that, but also like, yeah, mentally, spiritually, just like they feel like, which this part's kind of interesting, but they feel like I'm properly like, like armored up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
It's strange that they're seeing me that way, but like, because they don't see me like with armor on, but they feel like, yeah.
That you're capable of looking out for what's dangerous and listening to parts
like
that
really
are sending you those
prepared.
messages.
I guess so. Yeah, I think they just like that a lot better than who they're used to seeing, the young one.
Yeah. how would they feel about talking more about that young one, even if it's just whether it's you catching them up on work you've done or them pointing you to who needs you?
They were just sharing. They were just sharing a little bit about like why they like what they're seeing in me better. They're saying things like, yeah, like because she's so weak and vulnerable. Helpless. Yeah, she's like that they're glad that I seem so much stronger and brighter and more capable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're saying like she's just susceptible to so much.
I'm curious how old she is.
Around 5.
Okay.
Seems even a little bit younger, like 4, but yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay.
She's like old enough to ask questions and run around and stuff, but like so innocent and naive and yeah.
Yep.
Very little protection at all.
How do you feel towards her?
So loving.
Do you want to go there now? Is other parts okay with that?
I think so. Is that okay with you?
It's very okay with me. I have time if you'd like to have a minute to check it out with parts or whatever.
Oh, I'm just like floored with so much gratitude.
Me too. I'm grateful that that you and your parts trust me to, just to work in the way that you do.
And that's saying a lot too, because they're not easy to gain trust from. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really appreciative of that too. Yeah. I definitely do have like a clear visual of her.
Okay.
Seeing her like in the yard of my old house. Yeah. She's roaming around and like kind of finding like the boundaries or like the edges or like, but she's so like, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but like clumsy about it. Just knowing, so like a baby fawn like that, like very much like a fawn, like just kind of stumbling, but like I want to go over here and I want to check this out.
Yeah. Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got like scrapes and bruises on her knees and on her elbows and yeah.
Okay. Get her attention and ask if she would mind some company.
My company and your company, yes. But
great.
Yeah, she is like weary of that word.
Okay.
like not from us, but like what that generally means, or what her experience with that is.
Okay. Does it make sense to you, or is there more you want
Yes.
to ask about that? Okay.
That definitely makes sense to me. Like when her parents say that there's company coming over, this is like weird guys that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Letting me know.
Yeah, like company's not always, or not generally, like very safe for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of what she was showing me a little bit of before. Like before you asked me the last question, she was kind of showing me like her stumbling through as that kind of Bonnie like being, and then getting like scooped up by a large man, and there's no like face or like identifying, like I don't know, but it's just the energy of and the feeling of like somebody's kind of plucked you out of this like exploration or this little like curious wandering around that you were doing, and now you're like with something way more powerful than you and that you don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and just that feeling of like not knowing what was going to happen, how they were going to be.
Yeah.
Having a pretty good idea of how they might be, even at her young age, which is kind of surprising. Like, yeah, she's like max 4, but she's like, I've been picking up on like, this is, they're going to act funny. Or they're like, she feels like, yeah, they're probably going to act funny.
Okay. That's something she had to carry around, was that knowledge or that suspicion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I actually think there's a lot of reason behind why the figure is like faceless, because I get this sense that it represents like a lot of different characters, a lot of different people, and just the overall feeling that she had of kind of being passed around. Like her parents are really overwhelmed, and there's a lot of kids, and just kind of being passed around to whatever adult was around.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let her know you really want to understand what that was like for her. How hard that was for her.
She showed me a really funny image, actually. It's like a little kid sitting on Santa's lap, but being totally creeped out by Santa, and like, oh, who's this stinky old guy?
Yeah. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's this stinky old guy, and why have I been placed on his lap?
Right. And told it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. That's normal. That's what is expected. And also, it's kind of the only way you get attention, which is like the complicated part about it for her is like, well, it's nice when an adult pays attention to me and asks me if I need something, because that doesn't happen very often. So
right.
that's nice.
Yeah.
But it hard, she's like, yeah, doesn't always end there.
Right. Yeah, and you could ask her if that caused her to believe anything about herself or about her desire for attention,
Mm-hmm.
her natural desire for attention.
Yeah, yep, totally. It's very clear that it formed this really complicated belief for her that she can't even make sense of, but it's like I require safety and strength like outside of me, and at the same time it's not safe.
Right.
But it's definitely like it's not safe to get what you need. Like it's not.
Right.
It's not safe to like require the things you require.
Right. Yeah. She requires safety and strength externally, and it's not safe to require that, to require safety and strength and attention.
Yeah, and there's something tied up in there too of like, if you are to require that, then there's going to be things required of you.
Right. Right. You okay with that? For showing you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's showing it to me like two sides of this thing that she holds in her hands. And there's like the deep like desire for that safety and that feeling of being scooped up and held, but then like the flip side of that is like, now what am I expected to do because I accepted that good feeling, because I said yes, I want to be held. Now it's like, oh shit. Yeah. Now she feels like I've gotten myself into hot water.
Yeah. Yep. Just let her know that you're getting that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big weight and responsibility to hold for such a little girl.
Yeah. Kind of impossible.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how did you survive? How is this?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a big thing.
Very risky.
And something she had to look out for on and on.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that kept like proving her fears right. And proving that narrative right, just really solidifying with more and more evidence of accepting that kindness, and then realizing what you've gotten, who you've accepted in, and maybe that was a mistake.
Yeah. Accepting that kindness, or letting someone know that you want to be held. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, she really, I feel like, takes on a good amount of responsibility, though, for like what comes next.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting that now. Like, she thinks the second act of this wouldn't have happened if the first act didn't happen, right? So, like, if she didn't accept that love and kindness, then she wouldn't have been hurt.
Mm-hmm. And if she didn't need any external safety or strength or connection, then yeah, maybe she'd be more distant from those consequences.
Yeah.
How are you being with her now?
She's like sitting cross-legged and still kind of just holding this like in her lap. And I'm like a couple of feet away from her.
She says she's holding it in her lap?
Yeah, the like two-sided struggle of like needing love and acceptance, but then it burning her and feeling responsible for all of it, like responsible for having those needs and responsible for the hurt that comes. Yeah, she's just kind of like hunched over.
Send her the message that it's totally normal and good and natural for her to need those things and want those things.
Yeah.
And those awful consequences are not.
Yeah, that like needing love and affection is actually not in her control.
It's not.
She's not choosing to need those things. She just does need those things.
Right.
And what happens after that is the part that's out of her control as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's an impossible kind of dilemma.
Yeah.
Because she can't not need them.
Right. Yeah, she wishes she could. She definitely sees, she's like, I see her kind of like, oh,
yeah.
Like, I wish I could.
And we can thank all the parts that tried to make that a reality.
Yeah.
Right? Got a lot of tough parts in there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of really independent parts.
Mm-hmm. A lot of I'm fine parts. And
right.
Yeah. Even the visionaries that are like, you're so powerful, you can do everything on your own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So she has a part of her that wishes she didn't need connection.
Mm-hmm. And it makes a lot of sense why she wishes that.
Right.
Okay. It's easier for her to think that it was her fault for having those needs than to understand that she just has them and they weren't being met by the people they should have been met by.
Right.
guess it's been easier for her to just take that on herself.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. She didn't want to
Yeah.
blame her family because she needed them, and
Of course.
she loves them.
Yeah. Yeah. Might not have been safe to blame her family. One more
No.
thing that she didn't have much of a choice around.
Yeah. No, definitely not safe to blame the family.
So how does she feel about the idea of letting you kind of take that off her hands, take that other side of that thing?
To be the one that gives her that like
To
being
help.
held feeling without the scariness of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or to help her let go of the fear of blaming her family, for example, or to help her let go of the idea that it's her fault or that she should believe it's her fault. Does she trust you?
I think that feels, good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've kind of been sitting in that for the last minute or so. Like, yeah, her sharing that with me and then just us together kind of understanding that aversion to doing that and how that made sense. But then also, this realization that she's having is like, I didn't choose to have these needs.
Right.
And if these are just the needs that every kid has, and they're in the hands of their caregivers, then I mean, she seems a little perplexed by it, but I don't think she wants to hold on to the blaming herself part.
Yeah. Maybe you could ask her what she would need to let that go with you. And I know that you know some of the steps that I'm typically offering about going back or inviting them into the present, etc. Or just more sitting and listening.
Yeah, unsure of exactly how she wants to do it, but she is kind of, I mean, I think this like thing that she's been holding in her lap is what like represents that it's like hers to hold and it's hers to grapple with and try to figure out a way out of, and she doesn't know how. So, realizing that this isn't hers to hold, she wants to put it somewhere or do something with it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that could be something you help her with. This is something she's been trying to figure this impossible equation out on her own.
Yeah, and like maybe showing her. Mm, I'm wondering like if she would like to see other ways that it could have been those times that she's thinking of, and if that wouldn't help her to understand better how to let go of this thing that she holds in her hands.
Yeah. Can offer it. Can offer to go back in her time.
Yeah, I think that feels good. Yeah, and I think it really looks like someone checking in with her if she actually wants to be where she's been like placed or scooped up into or taken, like someone that's like, hey, how are you doing? You know, do you want to be in this room with this stranger? Like, you know, what would you like? How are you feeling?
Yeah. You doing that for her?
Yeah, and it's really important to her that it's out of earshot to the adults and the other
Great.
people.
Great. Right.
Yeah, so she wants like a little secret, like check in with me. And if we need to make an excuse that she's sick or we got to go
Right.
lie down or like we can do that so that she doesn't have to be stuck
That's
there.
right.
You don't have to entertain, you don't have to be nice.
Nope.
You don't have to act like you like them.
Mm-hmm.
You most definitely don't have to hug them.
Mm-mm.
You don't have to be on their lap and you don't have to feel their wet, gross lips kiss you on their cheek and any of that.
No,
Like,
no, no.
no. Yeah, she just wants someone to like be aware and be a safeguard for her.
Yeah. Without without shutting down that part of her that wants connection and wants to be held.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Because that's what she was getting from the protector that we met, was basically,
shut it all down.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she can still like have all these options in front of her. And it's, you know, she did show me some scenes where she just wanted to be like, she wanted me to just scoop her up off of this lap and um, really directly, like, you know, to whoever's like hugging or kissing on her or being weird, just to step in between and grab her and say, stop doing that. She doesn't like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
And there was times like that, but then also there's times she's showing me of just like, I just want to be checked in with, because sometimes it is fine and I do want to stay and play or, you know, whatever it
Sure.
is. But like, I just want to know that someone's going to check in and get me out of this if I want to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's showing me so many scenes and we're all over the place and it's just highlighting like, yeah, my parents have kind of like, I mean, very social lives, and my dad's in rock and roll. Like, it's like we're around a lot of different types of people. people, and we were around a lot of roadies, and then oddly, like it switches from like scenes from that, and then like we'd go back home and be in church, and the same creepy shit would be happening there. And you're like, I'm on a tour bus with this creep, I'm in church with this creep, like,
Yep.
yeah, she just wants me to. Oh, is my connection okay?
Yeah. I think one word got
Okay.
chopped up, but I hear you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. You redone some scenes. You can invite her out of that time if she's ready.
Yeah, she feels like very liberated by that experience, and like so much more powerful. Like she can exert her own opinion and her own choice, and she gets to decide.
Yeah. Because she's got you looking out for her, listening to that.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
ask
there's
more. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
well, there's like another layer to her, I guess, is like a does that make sense?
Does it make sense that she has layers?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And one reason I'm not asking tons of questions is I'm wanting to respect her. You know, she talked about having a kind of a secret place where she could share how she was feeling. She's got a lot of layers, and the important thing is that she has someone to show them to. They don't have to be shared with me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like what she's saying is there's another scene we have to redo, but she's questioning, like, is that one okay?
Is it okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to, like, it feels important to, like, public service announcement to, I'm aware that I have a lot of parts that are, like we touched upon earlier, that are like looking for that thing that's going to heal this. And, we do this one thing, and then we don't have to we don't have to be back in the mud and all of this stuff. So I kind of want to, like, public service announcement say, we're visiting this. We're going to hear what she needed in this. And that doesn't mean there's not other parts that were hurt in different ways, or other work that we're going to be doing in the future. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this
And
is just
you,
her perspective. Yeah.
And you have been monitoring. You've talked about the kind of progress and the new highs that you've reached. So we can continue doing that, right? So if it ever does feel like, hey, this isn't getting us anywhere, then we would want to know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do feel curious, like, how I could help her in particular in this.
Okay.
And that feels okay.
Okay. Just let me know if you'd like any input or anything at all.
Thank you. I think I'll talk through a little bit of it
Okay.
as much as feels comfortable, because it does actually feel nice to say things out loud so I can hear them back. And yeah.
Great. Great.
Yeah, because, there's like the first layer of strangers or semi-strangers, friends of the family and beyond. And then there's the family, and that's a different layer for her of like,
Definitely.
craving that being held and being chosen and
Right.
taken care of
Mm-hmm.
with someone that she really, felt like she really wanted that from, not just like a, stranger that she's hoping will just be nice to her, but like this is somebody that I love, and it's like really important to her that
people she needed that from.
Yeah. And that was like her ultimate hurt of this is what happens when you need that like being held feeling.
Mm-hmm.
What did she need?
Yeah. What does she need from someone? She already named one thing.
I don't know if this sounds wild, but like it's hard to tell if there's one or two exiles in this room with me right now, actually.
Okay.
I feel like I'm hearing from one that we've met previously that I wrote to you about actually the other day.
Mm-hmm.
That was like in that room, in that same scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying not to question anything too much, but it is like, whoa. Okay, well, what did they need, or what needed to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Doing okay?
A little lost.
Okay.
Only because I'm having. I feel like I got. I don't want to say blended, but much more present with this exile that like was being lied to about what was happening and what she needed. But it does feel like kind of different than the one we've been working with. That
Okay.
I'm just
Does
trying
it
to pinpoint that one again.
Does it feel older or younger? If that's not helpful, ignore.
Yeah. It does feel like the one we've been working with is slightly younger.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, and the lied to is a part that you're thinking we have met and worked with some before.
That we didn't go through like full on burdening with, but we made contact with, and that when I re-listened to that episode, she started like sharing with me what she needed to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, they're very similar, and I think that's why it's easy for me to get like the two needs confused, because like essentially I think they need a lot of the same things.
Yeah. I'll just tell you, my intuition would be to ask the lied to one for space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I could explain why, but that would be my
Yeah,
intuition.
well, that's my intuition too. Is like, wait, it feels important to not lose track of this younger one, and
yeah,
yeah.
I'm also wondering if the lied to has a little more of a flavor of, a justice kind of thing, compared to what this part is talking about, just a very basic safety and
Yeah.
just need to be held.
Yeah, and like the innocence of that younger one, that it's
right.
She does have different needs, in that, the older one wanted to be explained and told the truth about what was going on, but this younger one does feel like she just wanted choice whether or not she was there or not, or whether or not this was the type of play she wanted to engage in. Yeah, that helps connect back with her. Yeah, it's that feeling of like, oh, I didn't sign up for this game. Like,
right.
And I get why she's saying that, because it's like a lot of these characters would portray things like that as games.
Yeah.
She wanted the choice to stop playing that game with her brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what's interesting is like it actually doesn't feel like she wants me to do much of anything except for like being there with her, and like for her to actually say like, I don't want to play this game.
Okay. Can support her in that.
Yeah. Yeah, because she feels like she can say that with like me backing her up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like any kind of manipulation or any kind of gaslighting or any kind of, it's not a big deal, just do it, or all the things she was being told, like, no, I don't like it.
Yep. Okay.
I don't like it. I don't want any part of it. I don't like this. I don't want you to do that to me.
Mm-hmm.
like she wants to play a different game. What's really like baffling my fucking mind right now is like she doesn't want to leave her brother's room. It's not that she wants to go storm out.
She
and
loves her brother. She loves
yeah,
playing.
like she's like fucking like play Legos with me. Like
Yes. And
let's play G.I. Joe.
she needs connection. She needs play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she should want that and want to fight for that. That's a good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying she should have done something different. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with her wanting that.
Yes.
Yeah, she wants to, with me there too. I think this is also what's making that possible is like that safety of like, you're here with me and, here's how I want to play. Here's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And do I want you to hug me and be sweet to me and be my protector and play fun games with me and even rouse me and tease me a little bit? Like she loves that.
Right.
Her brother had the coolest toys. He was the only one with cool toys. Like her sisters all had friggin' Barbies and like those sucked. And she was like, I want to play G.I. Joes and Mario Kart and like build fires and like do this stuff that my brother's allowed to do.
Right.
I never knew this about her, that like she wanted to, yeah. I think parts had imagined a long time, like storming out of this room or setting it on fire. And like maybe that is still a desire of other parts, but it's interesting to know that like her desire is to actually change that whole day around. Like that was a terrible day, and she wanted someone to check in with her, be there for her. She wanted to be able to say what kind of play she wanted to do.
Yep. Without giving up the connection.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she's feeling great about that, and she's actually really enjoying this like power reversal with her brother. Oh, I told him we're going to play G.I. Joes. That's what we're doing. Like,
yes.
She feels like sassy, like, ooh, yeah. And she wants him to apologize, which I feel like is so, I get why she wants that.
Yeah.
Oddly, he has now in our adult life, actually.
I also wonder how it would feel for you to offer, just as a compliment, to what she wanted from him, which is the play, the connection, the hugs, the apology. How it feels coming from you, if that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can apologize for him. You can.
Yeah.
You can hold her.
Yeah.
You can start fires.
Totally. Yeah, I think there's I love that. And there's a lot of good things that actually feel pretty right to apologize. You know, I am sorry she didn't have that person to check in with.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that there was no one checking in with her,
Mm-hmm.
that, her parents were not as aware as they needed to be. And they were preoccupied and busy, and she didn't get that.
And that
Healthy level of monetization or monitoring.
Mm-hmm. And that she internalized that to mean that it was something about her.
Yeah.
That it's her fault to want or to need safety.
Yeah. That it wasn't the downfall of her parents. It was just that she needed to stop needing things. Loving connection and a hug and feeling health. And
I wonder if there's a way for her to give that to you. Because that's a tough thing for an adult to navigate and hold.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and she's like 4.
But she's like 4. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, she's just loved this whole experience. Like, that's what she feels like this whole experience has been. It's like, there's an adult here that's going to make sure I'm safe, and I don't have to worry about, are my needs, am I safe to have these needs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it does sound very different from just blowing the whole place up. Sounds like a deeper understanding and deeper connection. Not that there's anything wrong with the former,
Sure.
but
yeah. Yeah, well, and I think like her really accepting that those needs are innate and those needs are there, existing in all of us.
and that
kind of allows for that. Yeah.
And that they're even something to celebrate.
Yeah. Mm.
According to the part that we first met, at least.
Yeah, and to this young one, she would love to like dance around in those, just like playing the games with her brother in the ways that she wants to, and in these ways in which like she would love to celebrate that connection that feels so good. And
I would just keep asking her if there's anything else, in her body or anything else that she feels like she's carrying that she'd like to give up. Beliefs about herself.
she wants to like let that two-sided thing that she was holding, she wants to like let that go down the river.
Okay.
To like visually see it leave. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not holding that, but I want to like see it like go.
Okay. The way I was understanding it, is the one side of that thing was her needs.
The dark part of it. Yeah. Because she's showing me like just a shadowy.
So yeah, so maybe let go of it in that form, but maybe that could be the next step, is ask her about her needs and how she'd like to kind of bring them in.
Mm-hmm. I'm just getting the sense that like she just, it's, I don't know why it's a little spotty, the connection, but it's like, yeah, I'm just kind of seeing her like walking around. There's different characters, there's different people, but like I'm with her and she gets to just see what it's like to like walk around with those needs and not be so scared.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm not seeing her like stumbling like a fawn anymore. I'm seeing her like kind of doing this like interesting little glidey dance around the room where she's like, how does this feel? And how does this feel over here? And how does this feel? And do I want that? Nope. Okay. I want it. Like kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's an explorer.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just amazing how like much how different her demeanor is with me here with her, and like
sounds good.
Yeah.
If it feels right, you could update some of the parts that we met along the way. The life go out part. Or the one that's so irritated by all roads leading to this.
There's something else. I'm sorry to interrupt that thought. There is definitely something that she wants to like get rid of, and she's just feeling unsure about like if she's allowed to, or like
yeah, just let her tell you and you can help her figure that out.
Yeah. I just gonna roll with this, but it's a little strange. I don't know. Well, not strange. It's strange because I can't make sense of it completely, but I'm sure I will as I say it out loud. Okay. Like she's like, she has a baseball bat and there are a lot of GI Joes around, and she's like kind of wanting to swat away the GI Joes that she doesn't want to play with. And choosing like which ones are in her camp, and
Yeah.
just really like whacking away almost like a golf club, like just
Awesome.
like
Yeah.
and I see that, and I feel like what part of what she's like swatting away is this like pressure that she felt, like, because I have these needs, because it's my fault that I have these needs, then I have to like be nice to these people, or I have to like take any ounce of like love that I can get or care that I can get. And she doesn't want to feel that way. She wants to have this great new feeling of like choice and autonomy, and just like whacking away that like obligation.
Yeah. And picking the guys that are around her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. And she's getting like very interactive and playful with like building like different communities within that. And like, I want this one here and that's over here. And like, then I can bounce around and play with this one.
Yep. Yeah. It's way more fun than Barbies.
Yeah. Yeah, that feels good. Okay.
Okay.
Checking back in with
Will life go out an irritated one?
Yeah, the lights go out. You know, it's like, well, this changes the game. Like, if she has choice, if she can whack away those dick bags, is how he put it. Sorry.
It's great.
Yeah. He's like, then that's what he needs. For her to have that choice and that check in with me of, do we want to be here? Do we want to be nice to this person right now?
Yeah. Right.
And there was another one. Was there another one?
Well, the first part we met was excited. Then came life goes out.
Which makes sense because I think like the excited is just such a great like doorway into why it's dangerous to get excited and be playful and explorative.
Yep. And what excited was excited about, what I heard mostly was connection.
Yeah. And like outside connection, like communities and you and this opportunity and that opportunity.
Yeah.
And she couldn't do that very well or for very long without getting lights out.
Right.
And lights out just wanted this little one to have some choice. And not get hurt.
The only other part that might go on a check back in later list that I'm aware of is the older exile, the one about the holding on to a lie or that stuff. Yep.
Yeah. I should check back in. Because I think it's hard to tell. It felt extremely cathartic to write that out to you from her the other day on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It felt wonderful just to be with her while I re-listened and to hear her needs more deeply, and then to write them out felt really right and really good. And I think what would be needed with that one next is probably like that. Okay, once she redoes those scenes in those ways, what is she holding on to? And what would she like to let go of? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's an important one for sure. And I'm glad we're not forgetting about her.
Very good.
Yeah. Man, thank you so much. This is like, I'm just, thank you. Holy moly, 2 hours, James.
Yeah, thank you so much. One reason I think that when I think about a call like this, I'm not saying much. And it's because I trust how you do things. So
thank you.
I just want to let you know that I appreciate, yes, it was 2 hours, but for me, that's me being able to kind of experiment and to learn from you what might come up. So having that extra space is good. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that there's that benefit in that. And yeah, there's a lot of ways a 2-hour call can feel. So I'm glad it feels that way.
Yeah. I'm kind of a lot of times I'm pausing and just wondering what you'll come up with, because that's where I'm learning, I can go through my script over and over, but
yeah, it is fascinating and interesting, and thank God for recording, because I get to listen back and kind of hold that similar space of oh, where's this going? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm glad we did.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And doors always open, other way around. Anytime you need it, let me know.
Okay. I might just.
Absolutely. Yeah. Standing offer.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Have a great night.
Okay. You too. Talk to you later. Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.